What's up, guys? DustinYewy here, and it's finally arrived. NHL 16 news. The full feature set has been released. It was actually leaked a little bit early, unfortunately. Somebody, I think it was released on the website a little bit earlier or something. I don't know what happened, but anyways, the info has been leaked, but that's okay. We still have the video here. So I'll put timestamps right here at the start of the screen. You guys can see there's timestamps. So if you guys are particularly interested in something and not something else, you can well, kind of see, and in the description I'll put it as well, so you guys can skip stuff if you want or whatever. I will also be going in depth on things, so stuff that isn't actually listed on the website I will be able to talk about because they want to be very transparent with you guys. So I will be getting in deep as possible from just hands-on experience with it. All right. Otherwise, let's get into it. Alright, so first thing first, new ways to compete as a team. So the new EASHL. Sharpen those skates and grab your buddies because the EA Sports Hockey League is back. This fan favorite online team mode has been reimagined and lets you choose specialized player classes to deliver a balanced competitive experience on the ice. Player skill and your ability to play as a team will now be the determining factor in who wins and loses hockey games. Alright, so the keyword in this paragraph, or keywords I guess, is specialized player classes. So no longer will you be able to edit your own attributes and stuff. They want to go for a more competitive EA Sports Hockey League this year, and they're doing that by making it like an even playing ground for everyone. So there's going to be classes like Enforcer, Grinder, Two-Way Forward, Sniper, Playmaker, power forward, and then on defense there's going to be offensive defenseman, two-way defenseman. I think there's an enforcer defenseman as well, and then goalie is going to be hybrid, butterfly, and stand-up. So each player class has its pros and its cons. For instance, snipers have a very good shot. Playmakers are really good at passing. Two-way forwards are kind of a more balanced approach. Grinders are really good at hitting and getting the puck and stuff like that. They have good puck control. On defense, a two-way defender is, again, really balanced. Something like a defensive defenseman like Shea Weber has a really good, powerful shot. Maybe not the best accuracy. And offensive defenseman has good offensive tools. You know, they're kind of like almost like a playmaker on defense, but they have their defensive core, obviously. And then goalies are pretty straightforward. I mean, they're all kind of different in their own way. I obviously didn't list them all, but that's just kind of the general consensus. So each player class has its own unique abilities. In terms of speed and agility and acceleration, all the player classes are going to be identical. And back in my recap video of my last Vancouver trip, I talked about how we kind of tested for like skating and stuff. That was because we wanted to find like a good balance between speed and acceleration and agility, just so nobody has an unfair advantage. So each player type is going to, at this point anyways, from what I know, is going to have the exact same acceleration and speed. That way, if you have a step on a guy, you're going to have that step on a guy. It's not going to be unfair because the guy has a jacked up 95 speed compared to a guy who's only got 80. So if you get a breakaway, you got a pretty good chance to score. And that's kind of what the approach is. They want it to be more skill-based. And, I mean, it's more about playing as a team now. So if you guys end up matching up against a team that's just 3 snipers, you know, they have a lot of good shooting, they may not have good passing. So if you have a grinder or something more defensive, you're going to have the advantage against those guys. So it's all about team play. It's all about, you know, being skill-based rather than, you know, overpower-based as it used to be. So you wouldn't just go in there by your, you know, +9 boost slots, slap them on, and go to town against people who maybe don't want to buy the boost slots. Maybe they want to unlock them. But this way you can't just, you know, go down a division just to start off and be like, okay, we're going to just destroy people. So basically, it makes an even playing field for everybody, and that's kind of something we all agreed on. That was kind of something that ruined ESHL. Everybody loved the start of ESHL, and everybody loved the end of ESHL when everybody was even. So it was kind of like, well, what's the point of the middle ground? You know, nobody liked the middle ground. Nobody liked to be in Division 9 or Division 10 and get matched up against Division 1 guys who were absolutely like overpowered compared to them, you know? So this, yeah, I think it's going to be new. It's obviously going to be pretty cool to see how it's going to work out. The player classes are, you know, pretty different. So, you know, like a grinder maybe doesn't have the best shot, but, you know, he's good at other stuff. So that, it's going to be exciting, and I'm really excited to see what happens with it. Alright, now just general basic EASHL info. So the game mode itself is going to look pretty similar to the old gen. You're going to have your divisions and your seasons kind of thing. And then I'm not 100% sure how it's working exactly, but as far as I know, we're going back to monthly EASHL playoffs. So that's something exciting because it used to be huge, and then they went to weekly, and it was kind of like, it wasn't like the biggest thing if you lost it or you missed it or whatever. So as far as I know, we're going back to monthly. Unfortunately, there's like no unlockables as of yet. The customization for players is kind of cool though. We'll get into that shortly. That'll be later on. If you guys want to go back to the start and click customization or whatever, go ahead and do that. So that'll be later on in the video in another kind of section. As of right now, we don't know for sure yet if there's going to be captains or not again. They said that this might be something that's patched in. In terms of jersey editor, I'm not even 100% sure on how the jersey editor is going to work yet. I mean, as of right now, there wasn't one in there, but I'm kind of hoping that that's something that will be added. I mean, it's not something that's crucial to gameplay, but as long as we can select from a lot of the jerseys, that'd be great. As I had mentioned in the recap video, a lot of it, like, it's a very early alpha build that we played, so they could be adding a whole lot of other stuff into the game still. It's basically time constraints for them, so whatever they can get in added, they will. But I mean, just in general, I'm excited that ESHL is back. It looks really nice, and there's a lot of cool stuff they want to do. Again, I can't really share that because I don't really know what's going to be in the game, what's not going to be in the game or not. So yeah, that's EASHL in a nutshell, and yeah, let's keep going on. Alright, up next is 6v6 online team play, so OTP or online team play, whatever you call it. Play online with 12 skaters, including user-controlled goalies, using real-world NHL rosters. You can compete in ranked drop-in games against players from around the world, or invite your friends to a private OTP session before you step into EA Sports Hockey League. So pretty standard. The key things obviously here is that you use real NHL rosters, much like the old OTP last year. And I mean, the big thing here is that you're not leveling up a player because of the new player classes. I mean, you have your own distinct player name and, player identity, and, you can customize your player. But when you're when you're just playing OTP, since there's no player leveling, it's not really a big deal anymore. The only thing to note really is that it is ranked, so you can still rank, based on world leaderboards and stuff. But yeah, that's about it. So this will be fun because, I mean, you can still play as NHL players and kind of mess around, but I don't know how OTP is going to play. As long as the game mechanics work, I think it'll be fun still. And it'll be nice for, streamers and YouTubers to be able to play with friends and like viewers and stuff like that. So that'll be nice to get back into that with people and stuff on streams. Alright, next up, it's returning the Couch Co-op game mode. So basically, the perfect way to play when you and your friends want to jump on the couch, join forces, and play some drop-in hockey online. It's the best place to practice your team play skills before playing OTP or ESHL. So this was removed. Basically, all it is you can play online with a friend in your house against another opponent online. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I found it really easy to beat people who did this because it's kind of hard to control two players. They're kind of all over the place sometimes, and a lot of times they try and cherry pick and they'd be out of control and that kind of stuff. But basically that's all it is. You play with your friends online against opponents. Alrighty, next up is GM mode. So the big thing in GM mode this year is player morale. So it says being a GM is about more than just getting the players. It's about getting the right players to play well together. Each player on your NHL and AHL team has a different personality that you will have to manage. Deal with trade demands, teammate relationships, and much more by calling team meetings or adjusting your roster to directly affect your team's on-ice performance. So this is the big announcement that I have been extremely excited for. This new player morale system is going to completely reshape how GM mode works. Each player obviously has their own personalities, they have their own best friends, they have their own friends in the locker room, they have players they dislike in the locker room. Things like that. So if somebody has an issue, for example, you take away the captain's C from him, maybe scratch him a few times, he may come up to you and ask for a trade. Other things, if you trade them away from their best friends, they might be upset. If you reunite them, they'll be happy. If you take away someone out of the locker room, it can completely shape how your locker room works. Things like that. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on with GM mode. It's also broken up into 6 values. So as a person who was taking a lot of notes, I noted this. So each player has 6 different values that their morale is based on. So adaptability, desire, emotions, loyalty, outspokenness, and professionalism. So each GM mode you start is going to be completely randomized in these 6 categories. Not completely in terms of each player, being a completely different person every time. But for example, someone like Johnny Taves will have high leadership most of the time. And he'll be like a good locker room guy, a good leader. But the scale might be a little bit different just based on your GM mode. So there's a lot of room for replayability. There's going to be a lot of different stuff. It also affects the complete, universe of your GM mode. So every other computer GM, if they're not treating their players right, for example, let's just say Tyler Seguin isn't getting enough minutes in Dallas, and he may ask for a trade. So during the season, you may pop up and be like, Tyler Seguin is now on the trading block, and you're like, what? So there's stuff like that, and it's going to be completely crazy. The other thing is that if you have a really good locker room chemistry, basically your players' overalls can go up or down depending on that. So you can get like +2 to overalls for all your players, or -2 depending on if your locker room is bad or not. If there is a player issue, for instance, somebody's unhappy, you will actually be notified of that via the message center, and you can actually go up to the player and ask them what's wrong. And it also gives you 4 different types of interactions that you can perform on them, either to make them happy or possibly make them more angry. So the micromanaging in the new GM mode is going to be absolutely crazy. Like I said, it's going to be completely change how GM mode works. Like, yeah, you can try and get all your players that you want. Like, say you want to get Ovechkin and Crosby on the same team. But making those different trades can completely shape how your players react and how they act towards your, new players, or, maybe their morale goes down until they start winning again. It's completely, oh man, it's just crazy how it's going to work. The other cool thing is that it says you can manage the NHL and AHL teams again. So obviously AHL teams are back. In terms of player morale, you don't have to manage your AHL team. So don't kind of think that you're expected to do that. If you don't, the computer just kind of does it on the side, and it's not really a big deal. But things that are returning, obviously, you're going to see... Oh man, what did we even lose last game? I can't remember. There's a lot. So like the in-game simulation is going to be back, and it looks gorgeous. Oh my god, the over ice display thing is like really nice. It looks really sleek and new. Obviously the new draft system is still in there. Everything pretty much that was lost in the transfer is back in the game. But yeah, just everything in general looks a lot nicer. The menu seemed faster to me. I don't know. The other thing, there's going to be fantasy draft again, so you can do a fantasy draft. That's going to be back in. I know Flopfish was playing around with that. So that's the only reason I know that it's back, because he did it. But yeah, when Flop and I actually talked to the Game Modes guys, Andy and Gurndeep, we kind of emphasized on a lot of things they could do with this new morale system. So whether they take our ideas or not is completely up to them, obviously, but I think that GM mode could completely expand on this whole thing. Remember, I don't know if you guys watch a lot of my GM modes, but a lot of the time I would say, you know what, there's no player loyalty. I mean, people just pick up and drop players consistently, and it's like not really a big deal. So the whole player loyalty thing was completely spot on now in this new player morale. It's going to be completely integrated in there. So if you treat your players bad, they're not going to play well. The overalls are going to go down. If you trade around guys and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited for the GM mode. Like, oh my god, I didn't really get a lot of time to play with it, but from what I did get to play with, Oh god, it's gonna be so incredible. Other than that, I'm not really sure what else there is. I'll say it again at the end, but if you guys want to leave any questions below, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll try and get back to you guys as soon as possible by answering what I can. But let's move on to the next thing. Alrighty, next up, Be a Pro. So Be a Pro is back, and it's a little bit better than before. Last year, it was really stripped down on Next Gen. So on here it says, Be a Pro, shape your legacy. The way you play dictates the type of player you will be in an all-new Be a Pro progression system. On-ice actions directly influence attributes earned, ensuring that your pro will reflect the way you play. Sim to your next shift, and the ability to work your way up from the CHL rookie to an NHL superstar also makes a return in NHL 16. So pretty straightforward. The new Be a Pro progression system is basically FIFA style. So if you play like an enforcer, your guy will be an enforcer. If you get in a lot of fights, you'll gain skill in fighting. If you do really good passes and get a lot of assists, you'll get higher passing categories. If you shoot a lot and score a lot of goals, you'll get higher sniper categories, etc., etc. If you're a two-way forward, you play defense, you know, you get good defensive categories. So basically the way you play is the way that it's going to kind of shape the way your player progresses. As I listed here, it says new learning tool. It's called the Visual On-Ice Trainer, and I will get to that in a few seconds here. But other than that, returning things like CHL and AHL will be making the return. Memorial Cup will be back as well, and yeah, it's going to be a lot better than it was last year. One of the disappointing things, again, is that it's not going to be Live the Life. You're not going to get the questions and answers again. I know I personally actually talked to, like I said, when I talked about Gurndeep and Addy, I actually told them that as much as people didn't like the Live the Life system, it added a little extra depth to it. And I feel like that is something that people are going to miss on this. The new progression system is obviously awesome, but I liked having that extra stuff kind of in there. So I was like, as much as people didn't like it to begin with, I think when they removed it, people were like, well, what the heck? Everybody got angry about it. So I'd like to personally see that back. And my idea, I don't know if you guys would like it or not, is with the new morale system, if they could integrate that into Be a Pro, along with the questions and answers. Maybe your teammates get upset at you if you don't pass enough, or you call for too many passes, or you know, you're a selfish player, maybe your coach talks to you and your GM talks to you about that stuff, and maybe, you know, it kind of shapes how your team plays as well. I think that would be a really cool addition. That was my idea personally, but other than that, it's gonna be pretty much basic Be a Pro, but the new progression system is going to add a lot. There's going to be some off-ice training stuff that's going to be added, so you get to set the amount of time kind of off-ice working towards things as well per week. So it gives you an allotment of hours, and you can put it into like running and stuff like that, or weightlifting. I'm not exactly sure what it was exactly. Oh yeah, sorry, actually I have it written down. Off-ice training is weight room, sprints, lateral, and power skating. Sorry, lateral movement. So these things obviously will shape how your player kind of works out and the type of player he is. So if you do a lot of weight room, maybe he just, you know, and you do a lot of fighting, maybe your guy just becomes a beast fighter kind of thing. But other than that, that's the new Be a Pro, and I'll get into the new visualizer learning tool. It's called Visual On-Ice Training. I'll get to that in a second here. Alrighty, next up is Hockey Ultimate Team and single-player seasons. So the most played mode in the NHL series gets even better. Improved player management and the introduction of HUT single-player seasons gives you another way to hone your skills before jumping online with HUT Online Seasons or challenging your friends with Play a Friend feature. So the single player is back. They kind of had it before. You could do like offline tournaments and stuff. So now you can actually do like a single player season, kind of through the divisions and stuff. I'm not like, we didn't get a lot of Ultimate Team hands-on with it because like I said, we were testing a lot of EASHL. But I would just assume that you play just like computer teams maybe, or maybe it's based on CHL teams and then AHL teams and then NHL teams as you progress through the divisions, because that's what the divisions are labeled. So that could be what it is. I'm not 100% sure. The other thing is it says something about improved player management. I have no idea what that is. I literally don't know. Like I said, not a lot of time with Ultimate Team. The most we did with Ultimate Team is, as far as I know, is the menu is way better. Before it used to be 5 tabs, now it's 4 tabs, so it's a lot smoother. There's a lot of stuff that they're talking about adding. I don't know if it's going to be added or not, but the player friend feature is kind of cool. When we got to look at it, the player friend feature also had kind of an option thing, so you could set it so you could have no boosts on players. So as far as I know, that's like the one major option. I don't know what other options they're planning on adding. Maybe a wager feature. I'm not sure. I think it was something that they are thinking about. Again, I'm not sure if it's going to be added, but yeah, the player friend had options that you could fool around with in terms of, you know, different gameplay things. But other than that, that's all I can really say about Hut. The only other time we played Hut was we were just ripping through packs while people were talking and stuff. Or we were throwing up ideas. Like me, Flopfish, and Clapperton were just sitting there ripping through packs. Clappy pulled the first NHL 16 Wayne Gretzky, and then me and Flop both pulled him. There was Yasin the Assassin. But again, these were not complete rosters. We did not have any new overalls or new attributes on players. All the players were exactly the same. The cards looked the exact same. So I mean, I didn't expect a huge upgrade to the cards or anything. But yeah, like the menu again, the menu was a lot nicer. It was a lot more user friendly, I guess. And then there were some things that we suggested that they kind of think they might do, but I can't really confirm or deny them, so I'm not even going to bring them up. But yeah, that was Hockey Ultimate Team in a nutshell from what we got to see. All right, so back to the visual on Ice Trainer. So this was something I mentioned in Via Pro. This is going to be one of the new features to help guys kind of get better, to hopefully make them kind of improved EASHL players as well. But it's visual on ice training, so it says whether you're new to the NHL series and looking for pointers or are a grizzled veteran trying to perfect your game, this new training tool will help sharpen your offense and defensive skills no matter your talent level. Visual aids project shooting targets, passing lanes, open teammates, and more. So we didn't really have a whole lot of time with this. Some guys had it randomly enabled while we were playing club or ESHL. But basically, it's really cool. It gives you like a visual thing and kind of tells you where you should shoot on the net. So the goalie will be in the net, and around the goalie, it'll show you like a target of the best area that you would shoot at, and then kind of like the range of your chance of scoring kind of thing. You don't score 100% with this. It's just kind of helping you to get used to where you should shoot at a particular angle. So if you're coming on the left side and you're a right shot, it'll probably suggest to shoot in the top left for you, or maybe the bottom right or top right kind of thing. You know, that kind of stuff. In terms of online compatibility, I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be enabled for online play. I think in certain instances it could be useful. We talked about it in terms of ESHL, maybe for lower divisions, for like divisions, let's just say 7 to 10. So guys who are just getting into ESHL, you know, they're maybe they're brand new to the NHL series. I don't know. But I mean, with this new player classes, I mean, everybody's kind of equal. You kind of pick the type of player you want to be. But the new visualizations are basically trying to help you improve your skills. That's all it is. So if it's a new guy to the NHL team, I mean, obviously he wants to get better. I didn't really see too much about it. I don't really know what the passing visualizer looks like, or, you know, defensive stuff. I think it's still kind of a work in progress at the point we were there at. But I did see the shooter one, and it looks really cool. It kind of gives you, like I said, it gives you a cool like angle, and kind of shows you where you would shoot in that particular spot. So it's a very helpful tool for new players. I'll tell you that. And hopefully it can help people improve their skills. Again, I don't know if it's going to be online. I think like we had discussed it, but for now, as far as I can confirm, it's for sure in Via Pro. And that's about it. Okie dokie, so on to gameplay mechanics. So basically the header is just complete control from every position. So there's two new big ones, as you can see right below. It says precision skating, can't say it, and new puck pickup. So precision skating, utilize a new skating tool that allows you to make refined movements with your skater in any situation. On defense, quickly jump into passing lanes and intercept the puck, or walk the blue line on the power play and open yourself up for that one-timer in the offensive zone. So I'll quickly touch on that. It is a big step in the right direction. So I'll give you some examples. If you're set, like for example, you're a Stamkos on the left side with your stick up in the air, you can actually step to either side to get more open. So defender is, say, standing in the middle, you can move to the right to get a little bit more open, but he does kind of like a crossover while your stick's up, kind of to get into that lane, like say a Crosby or Ovechkin will do, as you can see them kind of moving around on the other side of the ice. The other one is like keeping the zone. I think it's also more into like the next section of puck pickups, but if you have the puck, like it's a lot easier. You can kind of strafe on the blue line now. So if you have the puck, you can like move side to side and like little side steps instead of having to skate sideways when you want it to move. So this is going to be a huge tool on defense anyways. But also like skating around, it feels a lot better. The strafing is really cool, the way you can kind of sidestep. I haven't, like, we didn't get a whole lot of hands-on with it, but I could see people like turning these into like Patrick Kane dekes, you know, on a breakaway or a penalty shot. Just the way the player can move now. I don't know if it's exactly going to work like that in the final version, but when we saw it, that's kind of the potential I thought it had. But yeah, they're really cool, like strafing, and I guess it's called vision control is back. But yeah, next up, I'll just go to the seamless puck pickup. So the ability to quickly control a pass or corral a loose puck can be the difference between generating a scoring chance and getting leveled. New puck pickups result in smoother transitions when receiving the puck, no matter what your position, giving you more time and control to make your next move. So the big thing here to note is that there was such a problem with puck pickups in the past. Your player would just turn backwards or turn opposite or curl the wrong way, and that is completely eliminated with this. So now players have a complete range of motion to get the puck from. So if the puck's behind them, they'll reach back and get the puck and pull it up so you can skate. You won't have to like turn your whole player to the right and then end up doing a full circle for no reason. This was a huge problem. I know especially like Johnny has brought it up a countless number of times. He did it in his like NHL 14 review, I think. Yeah, he hasn't done the 15 review yet. But this was a huge issue because it was just so hard to pick up pucks, or your guy would just end up out of position, or you wouldn't be able to make a pass correctly, that kind of stuff. So the new puck pickups is huge. Oh my god, the range of puck pickups is just unbelievable. And this is the same thing that I was talking about, keeping the puck in at the zone. So if a puck's coming back to your player and say it's going through your skates, like right down the middle of your body, your guy will actually move his stick to the side and like actually pick it up there now. This is one of the things we got to see when we were walking around, I guess, like the whole development area, while we were doing a quick kind of preview of what's going to like come and like the different animations and stuff. So the new puck pickups look fantastic. If they can completely be integrated in, sorry, I'm losing my voice. They're gonna be phenomenal. They look really solid. It's very seamless. Like you don't even realize it's there, but it completely changes, you know, how you can pick up a puck and kind of skate with it and make a play. All right, so other stuff like other gameplay mechanics. Passing is completely redone. Not in terms of like they recreated and re-stripped down passing, but the pass assist was way too high in NHL 15. This was one of the biggest things we touched on in our first meeting in January, and it feels way better. So the auto sauce is still there. However, I guess it's hard to explain, but when you had a puck and you were looking at, say, two players were kind of almost beside each other but not quite, and it would just pass it to the wrong guy. You weren't aiming at that guy, but it would go to that guy, to the other guy. Basically, it was because the pass assist cone, it's kind of like a triangle view towards the player, was way too big, and it would just pick up the wrong guy. So they've completely fixed that. The passing feels way better. You can do like rim passes around the boards again without it just going in front of the net and into your goalie or whatever. So that was a huge thing. Skating feels a lot better with the whole puck pickups and precision skating. You can do like nice cuts and curls and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, there is like a vision control kind of thing back, so that's huge. I mean, it's going to help a lot, especially on defense. I don't know how the strafing works, coming back to the zone. We didn't really get, like I said, we didn't get a whole lot of time hands-on. Like, it was only 2 days, but defense felt really good with the new vision control kind of set in place in the new skating and stuff. So personally, I thought it felt pretty good. You had a pretty good handle on it, and it's really up to skill now. The only big thing that was brought up while we were there, I know this is something they're going to work on, is the incidental contact. So this was still an issue when we went last time in the end of April. I suggested maybe like a bubble system, or maybe, you know, we're talking about maybe trying to, maybe a button that you can hold to kind of brace yourself so you don't like hit people randomly. But this was one of the biggest issues, so hopefully that gets fixed. Again, it was a big problem in NHL 15. If you played OTP, people were just running around, you know, hitting each other, and it wasn't a big deal. The other thing I know they're working on is penalties. So in terms of, you know, a goalie running around and getting penalties, that is definitely something they're looking at fixing. Penalties were kind of wacky while we were there. Obviously, again, the alpha version, but in general, gameplay mechanics they're looking really good. They're definitely in a step in the right direction. And I think you guys are going to be impressed with how it plays. I mean, I thought NHL 15 felt good, like the gameplay itself, but this stuff just adds that little extra stuff that makes it feel that much better, you know? All right, so let's get on to the next section. Okay, so distinct team atmosphere and arena atmosphere. So best in class arena authenticity gets even better with the inclusion of authentic arena effects and props, including team-specific celebrations, mascots, chants, and even signature props like the lighthouse at the XL Energy Center in Minnesota. So you're going to see things like the Calgary Flames shooting flames out of the Jumbotron. The Jets have like smoke coming down. You're going to see all the mascots. After the game, you're going to see like the teams like raising their sticks to the crowd when you win. There's going to be specific chants. I was trying to get I was really pushing for it, but I was asking if the Jets could get the Katy Perry chant if the Ducks were playing there, but you know, they were saying maybe, but probably not. Also, there's signature props and stuff like the big flags being passed around before the game. I mean, they're pretty generic right now, but they plan on making them even better in the future. The mascot actually moves around the ice during the game. You'll see him behind the glass on a power play, or, you know, after in the arena celebration, like when they're at the center ice, you'll see him on the ice with a flag or something. So the mascot actually moves around. It's kind of cool. But yeah, like, oh man, there's so many cool things. You're gonna see like the big I guess organ at the, you know, Tampa Bay Forum. And all around, yeah, the whole like feel of the thing has changed. You're going to see the whiteout. You're going to see playoff stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, let's move on to the next thing. Next up is story-driven commentary. So Doc Emmerich, Eddie Olczyk, and Ray Ferraro are back and now call the game with even more emotion. Oh my goodness. Hear Doc's voice rise and fall with the action on the ice, and get analysis from Eddie and Ray on the peaks and valleys of an NHL season. An expanded NBC Sports broadcast package and new pre-game intros brings the drama to life in more ways than ever before. All right, so there's going to be new commentary on top of what was already there. I mean, it's just expanded. Season-driven. So basically, if you're playing through GM mode, they might talk about certain things that have happened during your season. And yeah, it just creates a whole new depth if you're one of those guys that actually plays a lot of games. You know, there might be a big injury, so they might talk about that. Or, you know, somebody's on a goal-scoring streak, they might talk about that. Stuff like that. Also, they're going to have the new NBC package, so they've completely redid the NBC package for this game. And it's going to represent exactly what's on TV right now. Otherwise, yeah, the commentary, we didn't actually get a whole lot to listen to, to be fair. We played a lot of EASHL, and we played it without commentary. I mean, we occasionally had a little bit of commentary, but not a whole lot. So I'm not sure how much better it is. Obviously, they've added a lot of new commentary, so it should expand it a little bit. I mean, and you're not going to hear waffle boarded, you know, every like 5 minutes, hopefully, anyways. But this season-driven thing is kind of cool. So not just GM. Maybe you'll like even hear it just like online versus. Maybe you'll hear stuff that's actually happening in the season. I don't really know 100%. That could be true or not. But yeah, it's season-driven, which is really cool. And obviously the new package is really nice. So yeah, that's it for your new commentary editions. Alrighty, so Superstar Authenticity. So we got enhanced facial features and new equipment details synonymous with the league's top players. Adds another layer of player authenticity. Use these new equipment elements to customize your own created character, giving them a unique look. Custom stick tape, colored skate laces, tinted visors, and more. So I'll give you guys a little quick rundown of what's coming. So basically, you can customize pretty much everything they give you. You can change the color of your sock tape. There's different sock wraps. There's different skate laces. You can put skate guards on your to protect from shots and stuff. You can customize the lace color and the tuck of your skate. So basically, when I say the tuck, I mean like the holder, the blade holder on the bottom of the skate. So it's usually white, but you can change the color of that. There's different stick jobs now, so you can do like a candy cane stripe down your stick. You can do different types of actual blade tape jobs, like the toe. You can completely tape the toe in like, I think there's like 2 different ways. You can tape it heel to toe. You can tape just the middle. You can do a little strip. There's a whole bunch of different stick tapes and stuff. And these are all either fully customizable in color separately, or you can do them all as one color, which is kind of cool too. You can also go through and edit all the goalie pads and everything once again to do the different colors. And all of these things lead into what people have been asking for a long time. Playoff beards, finally, in NHL 16. The biggest, baddest addition. No, I'm just kidding. Playoff beards are now in the game. Oh my god. So there are multiple variations. If I can remember correctly, I think there was like 8 to 10. I don't know about 8 to 10. I think it was a good like 7, at least 7 beards, I'm pretty sure. 7 to 10 beard variations. You can have different lengths of that beard. So there was like a Brent Burns beard, which was like full on, you know, mountain man beard. You could have, there's different variations of that. There was like a Lanny McDonald or George Perosh, whatever you want to call it. And the cool thing is that, as far as I am aware, it's going to be integrated into EASHL. So if you have a set beard and you guys go into playoffs with your club, each game that you progress in the playoffs, you know, you play 4 games. So if you play game 1, you'll have a small beard. Game 2, it'll get bigger. Game 3, it'll be a bit bigger. In game 4, you can have a massive mountain beard. So that's cool. Or there's like a Crosby patchy beard. There's a lot of cool beards in this game, man. A lot of cool beards. Yeah, if you want to do the dark-skinned, blonde, bushy beard, it looks okay. But yeah, playoff beards are finally in the game. It's actually really cool, and it was really fun to play around with. You can like cut your beard, and you can lock your beard, so it's pretty neat. But that is about it. So that is your full NHL 16 full feature set. I gave you guys as much depth as I could possibly give you. Stuff like the BA Pro is something I'm really excited for, and I hope you guys, like, when you see it, you're gonna be like, oh man, this is really cool. Like, it's really cool when you get your hands on it. But there's a lot of cool stuff that they're adding to the game, and with all this stuff that they're adding, there's a lot of, I guess, branching off and stuff that they can do with it, and customization and whatnot. They're heading in the right direction. I honestly had a huge lengthy conversation about, because I'm a big customization guy, I had a big lengthy conversation about it, and they're heading in the direction that I wanted the game to go. So if all is well, the future games of NHL will be amazing, with additions and such. Unfortunately, things like GM Connected was left out. I don't know about online shootouts. I know that's another mystery. I honestly didn't look for it when we played the game. I didn't even think about it. So I don't know if that's something they're going to add. Maybe. I'm not 100%, but overall, the game is looking very promising. Like I said, I hope you guys are excited. Stay tuned onto the channel. Please like and subscribe to the video if you enjoyed. Oh man, this is like a 40-minute video. It's so long, but yeah, hopefully you guys liked some of the insider tidbit that I gave you guys. And yeah, keep it locked and loaded on YBG, because yeah, we'll probably get more info down the road, and hopefully I can try and expand on that even more. But I like to keep up on the NHL series news, so yeah, please stay tuned on the channel. Once again, if you guys have any questions, I may have forgotten stuff, I don't know, this is a long video, so please leave them in the comments and I will get to them as soon as I can. I do read all my comments, so I will get to you hopefully eventually, and if I don't know something, I'll just tell you. Otherwise, again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will hopefully see you guys next time. Alright? Thanks for watching, guys!